Alright, and welcome to Solving Basic Equations, Level 3. Now in our very first example, we actually have something a little different. We have 3x equals 9. And a lot of students really don't quite understand this, but when two things are side by side, like the 3 and the x, they're actually being multiplied. So 3x is really saying 3 times x. And remember, in algebra, we're always doing the opposite in order to get rid of a number. So here, if we're saying 3 times x, what is the opposite of multiplication? And if you said division, well, you're absolutely right. And we represent division by using a fraction bar. So remember, here's our division symbol, but we use a fraction bar, and so we write divide by 3. Now what I do to the left, I have to do to the right. I'm kind of running out of room here, but 3 divided by 3 isn't 0. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I actually just draw a 1 through it. So now I'm saying 1x is equal to 9 divided by 3. Well, that's 3. Easy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next one in kind of this nice blue here. We have example 2. Negative 5x is equal to 25. Now, remember, when two things are side by side, the negative 5 is right beside the x. That means it's being multiplied. All right, well, how do we get rid of multiplication? That's the question you want to ask yourself. How do I get rid of multiplication? And so we actually divide, and this is where students get confused, we divide by negative 5. So with multiplication and division, we always keep the sign the same. If there's a negative 5x, we have to divide by negative 5. Now what I do to the left, of course I do to the right. And remember, negative 5 divided by negative 5. Anything divided by itself is really just 1. So I kind of cross it out by using a 1, and I say x is equal to, and wait a second, what is a positive divided by a negative? Well, that's going to be a negative. So I say negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. Easy. Okay, let's go ahead and move on over to example number 3 in kind of this nice pinkish purple. All right, and here we have negative 8 is equal to negative 2y. And so our letters, or our variable, is on the right side of our equation, but the negative 2 is still beside it, so it's still being multiplied, and so of course we'll still divide both sides by negative 2. Now this one's kind of interesting. Think back to 7th grade math. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 8 divided by 2 is really 4. So we'd say 4 is equal to y. Because remember, that creates a 1, so we just kind of draw a 1 through it to cross it out. Okay, example 4, our final problem in this kind of UT burnt orange. We have negative 20 is equal to 16z. Now here we have the 16 being multiplied by the z, so of course we want to divide both sides. But wait a second, we kind of wind up with a problem here. So of course the 16 is reduced to 1, and I'm actually going to even bring the z, I'm going to kind of flip it over. We'll say z is equal to negative, and remember a negative divided by a positive is a negative overall, so my answer is still negative 20 over 16. But notice 20 and 16 can actually be divided by the same number. We can reduce this fraction. So what number do 20 and 16 both have in common? Well, they can both be divided by 4. And so we say, you know what? Okay, so z must equal negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5 over, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. And so our answer reduces to negative 5/4. All right, I hope this helps, and I'll catch y'all in our next video.